It's time to say goodbye to my first bullet journal of 2025. This was the bullet journal where I did the first 6 months of 2025, and since June is almost over, it's time to plan my bullet journal for the second half of 2025. I've been using the size of a traveler's notebook for over a year now, and so I decided to go back into an A5 journal just because I'm feeling very creative, and the traveler's notebook was limiting my creativity, and so I'm going to use an A5 again. The notebook that I chose is the Solanara Black Silver A5 notebook by Tifosi. I truly love their designs. They are all celestial and magical, and they have a lot of black covered bullet journals, which is my go-to. So I'm really excited to use their notebook as my bullet journal for 2025. I love the packaging where the notebook comes in, and look at this cover, is so beautiful. They also have it in gold, and as you can see, it has a pen loop, an elastic, and it has rainbow gilded edges. This is not the first time that I receive a notebook from them, so I really enjoyed their quality of their notebooks and the attention to detail. Not only it has two ribbon bookmarks, it also comes with this inside cover design, which is really pretty. They also included this time a thank you card and this beautiful bookmark that I'm going to keep, or maybe give to one of you guys that are my pen pals, who knows, but I really love the attention to detail that they put into their products. And I love this design so much that I'm going to host a giveaway with Tifosi, and you can find out how you can enter at the description and at the end of the video. The winner will receive a notebook from the Solanara collection, which is this design, but they have 6 different colors available that you can choose from. Now let me tell you about the inspiration for my theme for this new bullet journal. So if you've been following me on social media, especially on TikTok, you know that I've been really into junk journaling, and that's exactly the theme for my new bullet journal. I know it sounds weird, but honestly, that's what I've been loving to do lately, so I'm going to use that as my theme for my new bullet journal. I'm going to use things from my junk box, where I keep all the junk from my junk journal, my scrapbooking letter box, where I keep all the letters from magazines and stuff that I cut out, a lot of sticker sheets and ephemera, and some sticker sheets that I've never used that are now going to be used finally. I'm always telling you to use your stickers and sticker sheets, so if you have sticker anxiety, I highly recommend you to try junk journaling. It's life-changing. And if you would like to get into junk journal but don't know how, let me know in the comments, because I'm compiling some ideas and information about starting a junk journal for a video coming very soon. So let's start with the cover page. I looked for a lot of inspiration on Pinterest, obviously, and I saw this page and I knew that I wanted to do something very similar, especially because at the beginning of this year, I did a page very similar to that for my beginner's bullet journal setup. So I gathered some paper and I drew 2025 into these bubble letters onto the papers, and I'm going to cut them out and stick them into my cover page. I wanted to use some colorful paper for the cover page and for the whole setup, honestly, but for the cover page I had to glue all of the numbers into some white paper to give it some more dimension and depth. Then I played a lot with washi tapes and stickers here and there, and I'm going to use a bunch of deco stickers in this theme, but I'm happy that I'm using them because I always try to save them for the right moment, but that moment never comes, so I'm happy that I'm challenging myself to use these stickers finally. One of the things that I love the most about junk journaling is that if you have an idea or a paper that you really want to use, there's no wrong way to use it in a junk journal page. But I noticed that because this was my bullet journal and not my junk journal, I was a bit strict with things, and it took me a long time to put pages together. Some of them are not even that good, but you know, it's all part of the process of doing junk journaling. But because this is my bullet journal, I was a little bit more strict with my creativity when it came to create pages. And this is how my cover page turned out. It's really simple, but I really like how it turned out and how colorful it is. I feel like my vibe and my artistic self really shines when I put things together with paper and stickers. Moving on into my future log. So if you've been following me around, I usually don't do future logs because they don't really work for me. But when I was preparing for my bullet journal workshop that is coming in September again, don't worry if you missed this one, I was thinking about the ways that you could use a bullet journal from the start, and a future log is a must, so I decided to give it another try for this year. And I'm going to use it a little bit different this time. I usually have a page where I have my events and to-dos for the year, but I'm actually going to write any events, to-dos, appointments, birthdays, everything into my future log so I can use it a little bit better. For the layout of my future log, I went with the horizontal one because it's one of the most basic layouts to do, and I did it on the margins of the page for the months, and in the center I'm going to have the spaces to write any appointments and events. And where the calendars are going to be are just full with different papers, and I use these calendar stickers from the Modern Journaler from a junk journal video that I did a few weeks ago. I used the little calendars to make my future log, and I used my junk letterbox to write the titles for each month because it kind of matches the whole vibe of this theme. I love collecting magazines and different books and wrappers of things to just use the letters for this type of stuff, and it looks so good. I love the messy aspect of it, but also the fact that it's not super messy and has some perfection to it, if you know what I mean. And to finish off the page, because it was too white in the middle, I drew some lines to separate the months, and I highlighted the lines with the same gray pen for the actual months of my future log. This is where I'm going to write any events and appointments for the future. I'm going to try and link as many things as I can down below in the description from the things that I'm using, but if you need something in particular, let me know in the comments. Next up, I have my goals page, and this page was not the best, but honestly, I didn't want to repeat the same things over and over again, so I tried something different for this one. And for this one, I'm going to have 4 different sections for my goals, and I used Archer and Olive's pastel notepad to gather the papers for this section. The 4 categories for my goals are personal, business, marriage, and miscellaneous. So we all have different areas for our life goals, and I decided to divide mine into these 4 sections because it kind of made sense because of where I am right now in life. I want to have strict goals for myself as a person for the next 6 months of the year. I also want to have some goals for my business related to my shop, content-wise, social media, all of that. Me and my husband have different goals as a couple, so I'm going to write them down in here as well. Not only related to our adult life, but also things that we want to check out or things that we want to do until the end of the year. And miscellaneous is for anything that just doesn't match any of the other categories. And as you can see, I didn't do much on this page because I want to make it as simple as possible, but maybe I will add some more stickers or drawings in here as the months go by. And I'm noticing now that I wrote marriage the wrong way, so I'm going to add an R later on that page as well. Next up, I'm going to have a brain dump page, and I have a full video on my channel explaining what a brain dump page is and different examples of what you can put in there. But for me, a brain dump page is just a random space in my bullet journal where I write anything that comes to my mind that is not linked to any year or month. So for example, if I have an idea for something to do for my shop for Christmas, or if I have an idea for Halloween, or if I have something that I really want to do in the next couple of months, I don't write it on the future log because that's for things that I actually have to do on a particular month. If there's no month linked to it, I'm going to add it into this brain dump page. And in this page, I kind of took inspiration from my cover page. I used one of these plaid colorful papers as the background, and I'm going to stick a white dotted paper on top to just have my to-do list in there. And yes, I called it to-do list in this page, even though it's a brain dump, because writing brain dump didn't sound right. So this is just a major to-do list for the year, or in this case, for the next 6 months. Moving on into my favorite pages of the setup, I'm going to do my to checkout page and my bucket list. So I always loved patchwork art on clothing and stuff, and I decided to do just that for these 2 pages. So I'm going to fill up the whole page with different pattern papers, and I'm going to leave just a blank space on the right one for my bucket list. And yes, as you can see, I'm using a ton of these scrapbooking papers, and I'm probably going to have to order more at the end of the month because these papers are also available on my stationery grab bags that I sell on my shop. So if you ever get a grab bag from me, you can have these papers in your bag depending on a theme that you choose. On my checkout page, I'm going to have 3 different things. I'm going to have movies, TV shows, and bands. I usually just listen to the same bands over and over again, which are Arctic Monkeys, Let Shadow Puppets, and the Technicolors. But as I'm learning to play the drums, I try to discover other bands to play, and so I'm going to have this section for that specifically. For movies, me and my husband have a specific tracker where we keep all of the movies that we want to watch together, but sometimes I want to watch other movies that are coming out, and if I don't write them anywhere, I'm going to forget that they even exist. So I'm going to have this list just for that. Then for my bucket list, this page is going to have all the things that I want to do this year. I already did some things that I had on my bucket list for this year, so I'm really happy and proud about that, but there are other things that I still want to do, so I'm going to write them all in here. And for the giveaway, since this is the last page in my setup, you have to do everything that I mentioned in the description box below. And I'm going to have this giveaway going on Instagram and TikTok, so follow me there if you haven't already. But for YouTube here, you have to mention a movie, TV show, or band that you recommend, or something that you have on your bucket list. These are the rules, so good luck everyone, and I'm going to announce the winner by my birthday, which is June 30th. This was super fun to do. I'm still going to include other pages as the months go by, like my memories page, songs of the year, my bullet journal themes for 2025 page. And if you have any other pages that I should include in my collections, let me know in the comments below. And that's it for my 2025 second bullet journal setup. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my junk journal theme, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys!